Hello and welcome everybody to the fourth game of the match between Stealth Bunnies and the Orcal Kings in the D-Ranks Team League. So far we are 2-1 with the Orcal Kings having 2 wins and Stealth Bunnies having 1 win. We have casted Rezchi versus Tyrant, Ice Draco versus Legendary, and myself, Birdie, against Bad Seed. That's right, I'm Birdie from Stealth Bunnies. Now the fourth game we're going to be casting is between sB.LCC from Stealth Bunnies and ZeroChrome from the Orcal Kings. The game is on Circuit Breaker. Now sB.LCC has played one game and won it, so he has a 100% win record, which is significantly better than ZeroChrome's record of 50%, which is 1 win and 1 loss. The APM is fairly similar, with 149 from LCC and ZeroChrome having 138. Now of course APM is not extremely significant, but it is nice to know these sort of statistics. Now we'll be getting into the game in just a minute. Make sure you call people and get them to come and watch as we get started. One moment. Okay, so where is it? There it is. Getting into the game. It is a Tehran versus Tehran. I forgot to fix the icons. I'm sorry everybody, but it is Tehran versus Tehran, not Zerg versus Protoss, and that is not the players that are playing. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, so ZeroChrome is the red Tehran in the 3 o'clock position, and in the 9 o'clock position we have the brown Tehran, who is ZeroChrome from Team Orcal Kings. It is a TVC, which can be a very interesting matchup sometimes, and sometimes is a very uninteresting matchup. Both players are spawning in cross positions on the map, which is Neo Chain Reaction. And of course there are no TVT stats for this because, well, you know, it's TVT. It would be 100% win ratio for TVT. So if Team Orcal Kings wins this game, they will take the series 3-1, with another game of course being played later on, but that doesn't matter if they manage to win. Supply depot going down for both teams, both players. If you're watching this by a live stream, go grab some other people to come watch it. It makes it all the more fun. With the more people, the more the merrier. It really does. It's true in this case. And if there is anything wrong with the stream, let me know in the chat, and I'll see if I can restart it, get the sound working properly, whatever. There's the barracks going down for LCC. Let's just make sure I got the players right. Oh no, it's ZeroChrome. Okay, brown is LCC. Gotta remember that. Gotta remember that. Both players putting down the barracks. And there is a refinery on the way for both players. Fairly mirror builds in many ways, with slight differences of course in timing. Now, the scouts are coming out at extremely similar time as these people are doing mirror builds against each other. So it will all come down to their skill at pulling off the builds, and their timings of everything, and how they manage to produce units and harass, and all that fun stuff. The scouts passing each other in the middle, most likely seeing each other. Got Marine coming out from both players. Supply depots. Nothing interesting because it is after all TVT, and TVT is not the most exciting of matchups to watch. At least not at every level. However, the Marine is harassing the scout, so looks like the scout will be chased away. This scout also is going to be chased away by the Marine, unless ZeroChrome manages to keep him alive. For anyone who just tuned in, this is LCC versus ZeroChrome. ZeroChrome is the red Tehran, LCC is the brown Tehran. And it is on Neo Chain Reaction. factory coming down for both players. Extremely similar timings. Good to see. Similar resources. This is turning into more and more of a mirror matchup. Although here's... oh no, yep, there's 2 Marines out from both players. This is extremely similar. Certainly not as cheesy as the last game we watched, which was myself versus Bad Seed, keeping Stealth Bunnies in the mix and putting us to a 2-1 game. The barracks is being lifted for scouting by LCC, not done so far by ZeroChrome. LCC is pushing out with a Vulture and 2 Marines here, while ZeroChrome is going for a tank first. He's putting down the second factory as well, as is LCC. The Vulture will be able to get in, but there are 2 Marines there which should be able to hold off 3 Marines there, and the tank is well on its way, so this harassment will not be able to do much until there are at least a lot more Vultures or a tank. Now the machine shop is going down on the first factory of LCC, so we will be seeing tanks coming out. There's the scouting barracks. He's taking down the Marines, but the tank is out. Is the tank going to be able to take down these Vultures, or are they going to be able to push them back into space and end the game right now? Both factories are producing units, but the Vulture is going to go down, and the SCV is repairing the tank, which is very quick thinking by ZeroChrome there. Vulture speed on the way, and more Vultures and factories coming out. 2 factories and a starport. We might be seeing 2 port wraith, everybody, against factories. Good old factories just factorizing and such. We have not got an expansion yet from either player. Oh no, here is an expansion coming down for LCC. No expansion as of yet for ZeroChrome, and we do have tanks coming out from constantly produced from that one factory. No siege mode on the way though, unless it was already researched and I missed it, which I could have done because I'm not exactly experienced at casting. This tank and SCV though, and this Vulture of course, are going to be putting a bit of harass on, taking down that Vulture. More Vultures coming out though, and we do have 3 factories done. The speed is nearly finished for the Vultures, which will be crucial for them to get into the space and do some harassment. Although of course this harassment here might be a bit more worrying. The Vulture is going down, these 3 Vultures are going to be able to even take down that brave SCV. The tank, they're going for the tank. Are they going to be able to take it down? But the SCV is repairing it. Yes, they've sniped the SCV. The tank is going down, the Vultures are going down, but there is still one tank. He's getting killed by these 3 Vultures, and there's another tank microing there by the Vulture, and one of these tanks will be taken down, but these Vultures are not going to last long against that one tank, and there is another tank on the way. Tanks are surprisingly effective at being, well, tanky. What do you know? SCV repair doing some very good micro there by LCC as he micros his SCVs attacking. What a brave SCV, everybody. He'll learn a lesson from that. He takes some hits, but he's coming back into the mix though. He's not afraid to mix it up with these tanks and Vultures. 2 SCVs, hero SCVs, the hero workers of the D-Ranks Team League, everybody. This is not the first time we've seen them, and it won't be the last. The second expansion is... the first expansion, sorry, of LCC is up, and there's a lot of Vultures coming out with speed. And there is tanks with siege mode out for ZeroChrome, and the expansion is going down. Finally, there is a Wraith out on its way, and it doesn't look like Cloak is being researched, unless of course again I might have missed it completely. There's a lot of Vultures coming in here though, which might be able to do a bit of harassment, but that sieged up tank and these tanks and Vultures coming out should be quite adequate in defending. There's some spider mines placed for vision and of course for killing any tanks that decide to move out, and he's going to need to wait for this comsat, which he has not started, to finish, and it is going to take quite a while for something which is not started to finish. What do you know? Armory coming down and the Wraith is out and there's no anti-air, so LCC is going to have to pull back. Over here, in his base, we have a lot of lag. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, that's cleaned up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to be needing to see glass, but there is the armory down, and +1 is on its way. These factories are sitting idle, though. They need to be producing Goliaths to defend against this Wraith, because the Wraith is going to do so much damage unless there are either missile turrets or Goliaths put out, and even with missile turrets you're still going to need. There's the engineering bay and the comsat coming down. 2 comsats coming down. and we still do not have any Goliath, so that Wraith might be able to do quite a lot of damage. There are 2 engineering bays on the way, and there's another Wraith. Still no cloak on the way as of yet, unless again it already happened and I missed it. That hero Wraith taking down the barracks, or is it the hero barracks taking on the Wraith? I've never seen a barracks kill a Wraith yet though, and I don't think I ever will. Good Spider-Man placement there. This barracks is just chilling, and the 2 engineering bays are nearly complete. And another barracks. Are we going to be seeing a bio switch here? No, he's lifting the engineering bay. We're not going to be seeing a bio switch unless I'm really bad at reading TVT, which is entirely likely. We have Charon boosters, which is the Goliath range upgrade, as well as siege mode on the way. These Wraith and these vultures and tanks are pushing towards LCC's base. The barracks is going to go down eventually to that Goliath. Sweet energy drinks. Well, these tanks here, however, are pushing forward. They're taking down a vulture there, and they're going to be able to take down that Goliath unless he moves it back, which he does. Quick reactions there. And these vultures are making a move now. These tanks are setting up a siege line outside of his base, but these vultures are going to be would actually be able to get inside his base and do a lot of damage if he so decided, but no, he's coming from behind and deciding to try and take on these forces on both sides, sandwiching them. However, these raids are going to be the deciding factor here because there is no anti-air out for LCC. He needs to really get some more Goliaths out and not have one factory sitting idle, which is unfortunate, as well as his starport. Better if the player is right. Yes, I do. That would be really unfortunate if I didn't. And it is looking in a very solid position for ZeroChrome here with these 2 raids and tanks sitting outside in a tank line. But the missile turrets are up, so these raids are not going to be able to do too much damage against it, especially if he continues to get them to fly straight into missile turrets and die, which is, you know, generally not considered good policy. These 3 factories and the 4th factory coming on the way against the only 2 factories and 1 starport. And there is a dropship out, which is going to be extremely useful in doing nothing much until he gets some units to load into it and push forward. These LCC's tanks are able to push back against these, easily push back. And here we go, we have a Wraith out and no anti-air. There's just 1 tank, and he is dying. He has got 3 kills though, so you know he's probably worth his weight in minerals and gas. But the Wraith is going to take it down eventually, and we have got a Goliath out, which is he's dying. Oh no, that's terrible. Yes, I am. Yes, I am streaming. What do you know? The barracks is going down, burning away. There's an SCV. So many hero worker units in this series. Good to see. Scouting mines placed everywhere. Says the stream. Can someone in the chat tell me that the stream is actually working, because like the Marine here reckons that it isn't streaming, which would be extremely unfortunate. Ah, it is working. Okay, never mind. Okay, we've got vultures coming on the way, 3 factories, and that dropship is just sitting idle. A couple of tanks set up, and that SCV, hero though it may be, is going to die. It did make a last turn there, trying to push against the vulture oppression. But there's a lot of tanks and Goliaths moving out here, and 1 Wraith as well, and ZeroChrome has got his attack upgrade on the way, and another barracks, and his factories are producing more tanks, which might be able to keep him in the mix against this large tank force here. There are not many vultures in it, and there's a lot of tanks coming on the way. The Marine thinks I should get BC overlay. Ah, yes, that's a good point. I should actually show in-game who is who. Okay, everyone, LCC is the brown Terran, he is playing for Stealth Bunnies, and ZeroChrome is the red Terran, he is playing for Team Kings. I will see about getting a overlay put in next time during the game. I've got overlays for after the game, but not during it, so yep, I'll work on that. There is no anti-air out for ZeroChrome at all, which is going to be rather unfortunate because there is a Wraith out for LCC, and it could push in and do whatever it wanted if it so desired. There is an engineering base, so he should be able to throw down some missile turrets, which he is not doing. Instead is throwing down more factories and not producing Goliaths, which is a great thing, a great response to see against air units, is not getting any anti-air whatsoever. Now here's the tank line of LCC set up against the tank line of ZeroChrome. more and more units pushing out Goliaths and Wraiths, so the air control is definitely going to go to LCC in this battle, and we do not, as of yet, still have any air defense coming up. Not even any. Oh, there's one Goliath being produced, or it was cancelled for a second there, but it's coming back again. 2 Goliaths on their way, and yeah, that's because these raids are just going to go through this entire tank line and not even worry about it. There is a missile turret on the way which could easily get sniped by these raids, but he's content to kill tanks with them instead. We have a third base coming out for LCC, and he is still pushing against, but there is a missile turret on the way. He's going to be able to take down at least one more tank though. And the turret is out of range. The turret is out of range. There's a Goliath on the way though. The Goliath is going to go down to the tanks though. If he just moves the Wraith forward, then the tank is going to kill the Goliath, and he will be back to having no anti-air. There's a second Goliath on the way. GG coming out from ZeroChrome, and LCC has won the 4th game of Stealth Bunnies versus Team All Kill Kings, putting the match up at, I believe it is, let's see if I've actually set this up correctly, Team All Kill Kings with 2 wins and Stealth Bunny with 2 wins. LCC has won the game against ZeroChrome, the TVT game. And I'm going to have to do one more disappearing act while I get the final match set up. Please bear with me and stick through it, and get some more people to come watch when I start casting again. I'll be back in perhaps 5 minutes.